guys, so I wanted to do a quick video discussing the new NES Classic Edition coming out later this year, just in time for Christmas. I believe it's coming out in November. It's $59.99, yeah, November 11th, perfect time to come out. $60 US, it's very reasonably priced, very cheap. Comes with 30 classic NES games, and the question is, will this console, this little mini Classic Edition, is this going to affect the current retro game NES market? A lot of collectors out there, such as myself, have been trying to speculate on just what kind of effect this will have. Will it have no effect? Will it possibly help drive prices down as maybe buyers go out and buy the Classic Edition? Comes with all the games that majority of gamers are going to want anyway. And some of these games are very expensive, $50 plus games. And you're getting the console with 30 of them for the price of just one of these games, in some cases, depending on the game. Like, it would cost you a fortune to go out and buy all 30 of these games. So would this potentially help lower the price? Or will this actually have the opposite effect and the prices are actually going to go up? And we're going to look at this. I'm going to tell you exactly what this is going to do. Because I am the expert. I've been a retro game collecting since you were in diapers. So I know the market. And I think I have a reasonable speculation. So I think first we need to look at who the target market is for this particular console. And this is a mixed bag, actually. Because yes, it's one, gamers that grew up playing the console, such as myself. However, it's also going to be gamers such as myself who grew up on it and aren't really gamers anymore, but their parents. I think those parents are going to see it at Walmart, Target, whatever, Amazon, Best Buy. And they'll be like, oh, look at this cool thing. I'm going to buy this as a Christmas present for my kids. The reasonable price, it would make an excellent Christmas gift. Be a really cool gift, and the parents would enjoy giving that to their children. Because they'd be like, oh, I remember that when I was a kid. Even if they didn't play it, they'd be like, I remember that thing was cool, you know, Nintendo. And I think the last target market is actually going to be millennials. And the reason for that being, some people don't think that millennials will be into this, but I'm telling you right now, there are millennials into this thanks to the invention called YouTube. And the Angry Video Game Nerd and all these other YouTubers out there that have made retro gaming popular, and all these people that previously were not collectors or didn't even know about these games have now entered the market, and they want to play these games, and they've been getting these games. Some of them have been downloading them as ROMs. Those kind of people who can't afford the actual games in the actual console, don't want to be cleaning their games, worrying about the console breaking down tomorrow, can't get this game, gotta blow on this game 50 times to get it going, you know, things like that. Those kind of gamers, generally the ROM downloaders, are the ones who are going to buy something like this. They'd be like, cool, man, it's $60. I finally get to play it on a real system. You know, I get to play it on my TV. I can get 2 players going. I can buy another controller, and the controller works with the Wii U and the Wii. Like, it's backwards compatible. You can use it with the Wii U shop. Play the old classic Nintendo games with the classic NES controller now. It's a lot of diversity with a console like this. And I also wanted to talk about the 30 games that this system is coming with. They are not playing around here. They said, and I quote, 30 of the best retro games ever. They chose the cream of the crop for this list so that it could appeal to a mass audience. They wanted the most diverse mass audience possible. There's plenty of other games that they could have, arguably should have put on here, but they didn't because those other games didn't have the mass appeal. They went for one thing and one thing only, and it was getting that broad customer base, the big name, the names that everybody and their mother knows. So what do we got on here? I'm going to go through the whole list, actually. Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Bros. 2, Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Dr. Mario, Punch-Out, Balloon Fight, Donkey Kong Jr., Zelda 2, Excitebike, Ice Climbers, Kid Icarus, Mario Bros., the arcade game, I didn't know that was on there, that's pretty cool. Star Tropics, yeah, you gotta have Star Tropics, Bubble Bobble, Castlevania 2, Double Dragon 2, Final Fantasy, Galaga, Ghosts and Goblins, Gradius, Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is definitely the most popular, most common. These are all common games. No rare games in here. Ninja Gaiden, Pac-Man, Super C, and Tecmo Bowl. Some people are kind of mad. Why didn't they include Contra instead of Super C? Realistically, it's because Konami didn't want to give Contra. I mean, that's the bigger name. If I was Konami, I'd rather keep the rights to that myself. Who knows what they're planning to do with it. So they gave Super C, and you know what? Super C is just as good anyway. Oh yeah, and Tecmo Bowl. So one of the best football games ever made. Even to this day, Tecmo Bowl and Super Tecmo Bowl are arguably the best football game ever made. So what do all these things add up to? All of these put together add up to a obviously a system that's going to sell like hotcakes, okay? They're estimating at least 5 million units sold. I believe some of the previous Atari flashbacks had at least 1 million sales each. If you can get 1 million sales on an Atari flashback, you can get 5 million easily drop 5 million, especially coming out right before Christmas. This system's going to sell huge. So, is this going to drive up prices? I've done a lot of research on this, and I believe the answer is no, not really. And the reason for that is because most collectors, if you're a collector, you're already in the collecting market. Okay, the guy who goes out to buy this console for $60, let's say he wakes up and he says, oh, you know what, this system is just so cool, I want to go buy an actual NES set. I can get some other games that aren't included in this top 30 list. Like maybe he wants Double Dragon 1, maybe he wants Double Dragon 3, he wants to get the whole collection going, you know? There's plenty of options. But then he goes out and he says, okay, holy crap, how much is an NES? How much is it for the second controller? How much are all these games? And before you know it, they're dropping $1,000 if they want to get all the games. Like, these people, the average person is not going to do that. And some people have been speculating, okay, well, maybe it would drive up the price of some of the games, like maybe Super C would get more popular. People would be like, oh, that's a really cool game, I want to own it now on the real console, on an actual NES. And I really don't see that happening. Like I said, if you're a collector and you want the original console like me, myself, I only want to play retro games on the original console. So I wouldn't buy this. This is not for me. And I'm a huge retro gamer, and I'm still not going to buy this. It's too much. You know, if it was $20, sure, but that's not realistic. Like, I just wouldn't buy it. It's not for me. I want to play it on the original console. So I really don't see this driving down prices either, because people like me and the collectors like me and the avid retro gamers like me don't want to buy this anyway. I want the real Double Dragon 2 on the real console, on the real CRT TV or whatever, right? I want the physical game. I want to be clean in the game. I want to be blowing in the game, whatever. All these things add up to the real, authentic retro experience. And anyone who wants that, I think they were already going for it. And they'll know that they want that before they even see this at the Best Buy, right? Before they even see it, the big pile of them, you know, they might look at it and say, oh, well, I don't want that because I want to play the real deal. Everyone's trying to speculate what's going to happen. This system is selling out. I know a lot of scumbag sellers have tried to buy up all the pre-orders, things like that. There's going to be a lot of resellers trying to get double, triple their money. And that might happen, because no one really knows how popular this might get. Who knows? Maybe this blows everyone's balls off and it sells 10 million copies and those scumbag scalpers actually end up making bank, right? No one really knows until it comes out, but I really don't even see it being scalped. I think a lot of those scalpers are going to get burned. I don't think it's going to be selling that good. I don't think it's going to be sold out everywhere. I think Nintendo's going to be well stocked. You got to remember, this is coming out right before Christmas. Okay, they're going to have stocks in reserve. They do not want to sell out before Christmas. They want everybody and their mother who wants to buy it. They want and they need that copy before Christmas. The top sales are going to come before Christmas, and I think Nintendo's going to be prepared for that. So there you have it. I do like to do a lot of retro gaming on the channel. I do a lot of Summoner's War. I do a lot of just gaming in general. See you later.